Hi Capricorn, this is Leah at Fresh Astrology, and we are looking at February 2018. You can find me at www.freshastrology.com. There you can purchase a reading, a personal astrology reading for yourself, and I send those out via audio files, and you can have those forever to listen to if you want to listen to them forever, but a lot of people listen to them several times. So it's nice to have them, kind of in your system so you can find them easily. And I do live personal life coaching sessions via phone, so you can order those. They're very different. They're more practical the astrology is practical in the sense that you get kind of grid work or timing suggestions when things might time, but it really serves. I think astrology is best used for kind of self-validation, validating your good traits, validating that things, yes, they do happen at certain times, and it's more life-affirming if you look at it that way. So sometimes it's very comforting to have the astrology reading, but what happens in life coaching is we deal with the now. Where are you now? Where do you want to go? What's getting in your way? And we do more, practical exercises and techniques to kind of break through all that. And, so a lot of people are trying to get through some blockages or to gain clarity or just to lift their mood. They just feel vaguely bleh, and they just want to try life coaching. So, people come in with all kinds of different reasons. But if you do life coaching, it's really good to try to understand that you're going to do more than one. Unless you really try it and you're just like, black, but that hasn't happened that I know about. People usually stick around to do a few, and some people are more long term. It just depends on what you're looking to get out of it. And it is a commitment. I would say if you really want to get something out of it, it's more of a commitment to pushing forward. And I would say that most people tend to meet with me. I think it's probably not best to meet every week. It's not like therapy. It's good to kind of go 2 weeks in between. But then some people will go 3, 4, 5 weeks, usually not longer than that. Usually not longer than a month to 5 weeks. But, we can stretch it out so you're not feeling like you're committed cost-wise to every 2 weeks, or sometimes timing and feeling like you can fit it in comfortably into your schedule. So that's one thing I realize I have to explain to people, because a lot of people aren't sure how often we should meet. But I would say most people average kind of every 2, 3, or 4 weeks is kind of the norm. And with an emphasis on, I would say if I had to, so if you pick between 2 and 4, like every 3 weeks seems like kind of the average. And just so you understand how we do it and how often you do it, if you want to dive into that. And then I'm offering telecourses now, which are going to be on a variety of topics. The next one starts in mid-February and deals with the topic of your finances, your money, your career. And we're looking at the chart and analyzing your chart. I'll be teaching you some kind of beginner basics of looking at your chart and looking for money and blockages and career suggestions or opportunities that are open to you. And then we also combine with a beginner astrology lesson on abundance and money and career. I do some coaching techniques there to specifically target. Usually money mindset is what we're working at. It depends on what comes up in the class, because I'll let you guys ask questions and I'll see if I can address, maybe something that unexpected will come up that people want to investigate. So we'll see what happens. But that'll run for 3 weeks. So it's meant to be just kind of a level 1. There are going to be more layers and maybe some courses added to it, but this is just a nice quick way to kind of jump in and see what's going on in your chart and learn some ways to work with that energy. So very excited about that. So let's move on to your reading. When I'm quiet, I'm just staring and kind of getting into the pattern of your chart. So Capricorn. It is a big time in your life. There's a lot going on in your career, actually. The 2 eclipses that kind of infiltrate February are hitting across your career zone that runs from the second house up to the eighth house. So it's career really related to your financial world. So you're actually a good candidate for the money program. Um, Lots of changes going on. So an old role may drop away, or an old job may drop away, and a new role or job will come in. So some of you may get a promotion, or just a reshuffling of your duties, or an actual new job. Or, some of you may be starting your own company. It could be on the side, so you're working a day job and then you're starting kind of something on the side, or maybe you're making that leap. You could be somewhere in there, but a lot of new activity, a lot of events around money, how you earn it, how you spend it, when is it coming in, from whom, where is the money going to come from. So a few of you will be dealing with issues with actual, like, romantic partners. So they could be exes, they could be current partners, but dealing with how do you blend your finances, how do you work together on your finances, what do you work, how are the two of you going to approach that, or how have you been approaching that? You may make some changes there. So if you've kept your finances separate, maybe you blend them. If they've been blended and for some reason it's just not working, and sometimes that's the case, you can separate them again to create harmony in the family. A lot of people get in, you think you're supposed to just share everything and have everything open financially, like one checking account, it's all in this big one bucket. But sometimes, given the two people and their styles of managing or not managing, or just for practical other reasons that I can't think of right now, but it is good to sometimes separate and have two buckets, or multiple buckets of where you manage your cash flow and who's involved. Sometimes you can divide who handles what. So I don't know exactly what's going to be for you guys, but that's a theme, a big theme. There is a changing of the guard in your financial world. I would say on more than one level. So even if you're getting a job or leaving a job behind, you'll be doing both. I think it looks good for you. I would say if you are losing a job or a role, definitely something's coming in here. So I would try to trust life, trust the universe, trust God, however you think of it. Try to have faith that things are working out. If for some reason what's happening is upsetting to you or a little nerve-wracking, try to have faith. So that's in the job category, but also with the finances. If you're not sure about like a family situation or what your partner's doing, or are the two of you agreeing on money, try to have faith that you'll work it out, and just trust the process. Is, I guess, the best way to say it. And some of you may be thinking of buying property or moving. I definitely see that on the horizon. So it may not be happening in February, but I think some of what's happening in February leads to, or flows into, or plays into decisions around where you live and moving. I see most of the stuff happening for you as positive. There will be a few of you where if it isn't blatantly positive, it may be more of a mixed bag where you can't see the full positive yet, and that's where the faith comes in. And I often say this, and if you haven't heard me before, if you're new to my channel, that often luck comes in the guise of bad luck. So actual good luck comes in looking like the opposite, but later you realize it was the best thing ever. And most of us have lived long enough, most of the people probably watching me have lived long enough to see evidence of that in their lifetime. That something that looked really bad, like it was a terrible thing, actually turned out to be a great thing. And in a very quirky way you never could have predicted, something that was bad actually created miracles and great things. So understand that principle and trust that principle now, if whatever is happening to you seems tricky, or it's worrying you. It seems like wait, I thought good things were supposed to happen and these things don't look like good things. Try to trust the process. You do have a lot like weighing in on Capricorn. I mean, it's your patron planet, Saturn, but it's in there with Pluto, and you're going to be feeling a lot of responsibility and the potential weight. But maybe in a good way sometimes, like maybe you've gotten a promotion or you're starting your own business is a lot of responsibility to run your own business. And if you get a promotion, then suddenly there's all this, like, maybe there's that mantle of responsibility you feel. But you certainly are, the universe kind of bringing you at the same time as it lands this responsibility on your shoulders, it's giving you tremendous strength and power to handle it. So, I mean, Capricorns, I don't know if you all know the saying, you're in the catbird seat. You can kind of Google that, but it means you're sitting pretty. So we know that the eclipses, as I said, fall across this area of work and how you earn money, how you deal with your money, how you make money decisions. And then later in the month, the energy all floods into Pisces in the third house. So there may be decisions around neighborhood, school, short-term travel, commuting, a lot of messages flying back and forth, a lot of buzz. So there's these themes of school, neighborhood, commuting, themes of chatter over email, over the wires, messaging, Instagram, Facebook, that kind of thing. So in this day and age, often the third house and the 11th house have more and more, the interpretation includes stuff we do online. The third house is just much more localized, like it's that direct chatter between two people or between two populations. And then more in the 11th house, it's more like the big groups that can form and reaching big groups and being a part of big groups. That's more 11th house, and that's where you have Jupiter this year. So there is this big expansion in maybe some online stuff. Or because of the theme of Jupiter, and the theme of the third house also includes learning and teaching. That's all there. So I can't think of it. I mean, it just, I would say for you guys, it's just, if anything, just learning to have faith and kind of hanging in there, trusting the process, and also trusting yourself. Sometimes when a lot of good things are happening and there's a lot of good potential, we can freak out because we deep down, we're doubting that we can handle it all. And then we kind of sometimes self-sabotage, or we run away from the opportunity, or we just are walking around, like nervous wrecks, not fully allowing or enjoying the situation we're in. Because as I said, you're in the catbird seat, a good place to be. And sometimes we just cripple ourselves with doubt and worry, and we can't enjoy where we are. Anyway, that is that, and I will talk to you soon when we talk about March. And I also do weekly updates on Thursday or Friday usually, and you can look for those at the end of the week. And have a good February. Take care.